Hello and
Hi,
welcome
guys.
to Chugging Along with me, Tim.
And I'm Sam.
So yes, we are back for the first time in a couple of weeks, and the reason why we've been away is because we have started cruising. We have started our international narrowboat journey all the way up to Llangollen, where we'll be going on the Kennet and Avon, the River Thames, the Oxford Canal, through Birmingham, the Shropshire Union, and hopefully on those two beautiful aqueducts. So yeah, very exciting times, isn't it?
Very exciting, looking forward to that. But first, I want to say congratulations to the winners of our most recent Narrowboat live stream quiz. So that's Lawrence and Jill, aka known as Narrowboat Wakanui, who we had some difficulties pronouncing during live stream quiz. I think it was Sherry influence. Well done. A Chugging Along Champions cushion is on its way to you. And if you want to take part in our next Chugging Along Narrowboat live stream quiz, that will be on Saturday the 15th of May. So keep that date in your diary. And as an extra incentive for those of you who might not be able to clinch that coveted #1 position, but still finish in our top 10, we are going to be giving you a Chugging Along sticker. But now on to today's video. So, unfortunately, we're leaving Theo. And tell us, Tim, how do you feel about leaving Theo? Are you sad?
Yeah, I think, yeah, definitely sad, because it's been our home for months, isn't it?
No,
and
definitely.
that's not to say that it hasn't been a hard winter at some points. Yeah, of course, yeah, it's been very cold, and we've learned a lot about boating through this winter for sure. But then, yeah, it's sad to leave the great people that we've met behind. On the east end of the Kennet and Avon, there is so much space to moor, and there's a sort of small community of people, and they all know each other. We're known as EastEnders, and sometimes it has been like EastEnders with everything going on, but at the end of the day, we've had a great time with all those people, but it's time to move on.
Moving on to pastures new, eh?
To Coronation Street, yeah.
Of course. But before we left, we wanted to check in on Colin Jakes. Now, for any of you who've seen our video on Colin Jakes and his garden that he has next to his mooring, we wanted to go back and see what had happened, because unfortunately he got told to clear away his garden by the CRT because it was in breach of his mooring rules. So we went back, had a look, and sure enough, he's actually made quite a lot of progress clearing it out. All the plants, though, he's managed to keep most of them, and they've now got a home on top of his boat.
Yeah.
And he's also kept his bench as well, which would be great for him to sit down, and he can enjoy that during the summer months as well. Oh, but obviously, Colin, he's always one for a project, and right now we hear he's actually fitting a kitchen out on a wide beam, so that will keep him busy. And if you'd like to keep up with Colin Jakes and his what he's getting on with, then feel free to follow him as well on YouTube. So Tim, how did we actually prepare for our travels?
Well, yeah, we had quite a lot of preparation to do, didn't we? Because we were setting on this big journey. So the day before, we set a list of jobs to do. And the first job that we did was put our new centre line on. So the centre line is the middle rope. And it was quite annoying for us because we were, when the towpath changed sides, we were always trying to flip the centre line over the solar panels. So a simple solution to that was to get a second one, which we did. It's also navy blue, but when you see us fastening it in there, you will notice there is a slightly different shade, isn't it? Slightly, and I can't decide if that is the most annoying thing in the world or quite a nice little touch that differentiates it. But either way, yeah, they're slightly different colours. Another thing to do is a job that I always like to do, which is clean the solar panels. I don't know, there's something very satisfying.
It's your pet project, basically.
Yeah, it is. I don't know, I just feel good that, you know, you get higher efficiency when you clean it. So yeah, I do enjoy that. Another one was repacking the stern gland. So the stern gland it's a thing that you turn 3 times every time you cruise, because it stops the prop shaft just dripping water into the boat. So this sort of has a waterproof grease that just stops water getting inside your boat. So yeah, we repacked that. Yeah. And that was good, wasn't it? So that was a few jobs to get us going. And whilst we were doing that, we had a wide beam pull up to us. We were a really nice couple, and yeah, sadly we only got to speak to them and be neighbours with them for one night.
That's true. And we also had quite a few other jobs that we had to do as well. We also had to sweep up at Marielle's roof because obviously over the autumn and maybe not so much the winter period, but a lot of leaves and debris got caught on her roof top. And so just to sort of spruce her up a bit, we went over and gave her a bit of a sweeping down, and also wiped off any bits of green mould that we found on her roof as well, just to make her look a lot fresher for her journey.
Yeah, no, exactly. We felt mentally ready like that, didn't we?
We did,
yeah.
you know, spring clean, new start, new journey. And we also topped up our diesel as well and added a bit of diesel fuel cleaner in there, just for extra measure, just to make sure that everything would be fine whilst cruising.
So then, Sam, it was the night before we set off.
It was.
Did you feel ready at this point?
Well, I think there were signs. One of the first signs were that the swans that we'd been looking after during lockdown and sort of feeding, they hadn't returned to us for about a couple of weeks. So obviously that was a sign that they'd moved on, and probably we had to as well. And also another sign that we saw was the moorhens. They were starting to get quite violent, actually. They were getting quite rowdy around our patch, so we thought that would also be a good sign for us to start moving on to pastures new. It was the next morning, Tim, and it was time to go. So how did that go?
Well, yeah, it went all right, didn't it? It was it was strange, but there we go. We unpinned, we put Chuggles, the frog in, the tiller bar went in, the engine went off, and off we went. And looking behind us, we thought about all of those memories in Theo, the One Stop, the Co-op. The Sainsbury's, the beautiful lakes, the nice canal side walks, and of course all our fellow EastEnders as well. But we were off, and we were hoping for a trouble-free cruise, and Marielle glided down, didn't she? Glided down the canal.
She did, and she started gliding down towards her first lock, which actually wasn't that far from where we were moored, to be honest. That's probably all of 2 minutes, I think. It's very close. And the first lock, it was called Garston Lock, and it's actually a turf-sided lock. There are only one of two on the in the whole country, and they're both on the K&A. It's quite an old lock, and it was made, I think, between 1780 and 1723 by John Hoare of Newbury.
Well, he didn't make it, did he? It was the hard-working navvies that made it. He probably got his point walking stick. A little bit of that, you.
That's an accurate reenactment of what happened at that lock as it was getting built. So luckily we had some help at this lock, because there were a couple of narrowboaters that were making their way upstream. So they helped to deal with the lock, and that meant I could just climb down the ladder to get back onto the boat, which was quite slippery business. I had to be very careful whilst doing it. I mean, it's about almost an 8-foot drop going down the lock.
Right, let's get going again.
So I didn't want to rush that in case anything terrible would happen. But once we were finally back on the boat and we exited Garston Lock, as you'll see, this is the part where the canal actually meets the River Kennet. So things start to get quite streamy and quite flow at this part. So, luckily we've got Tim, and he's very good in the tiller, so he was keeping us on the straight and narrow. And as we were going past, actually, we noticed that there was an off-grid setup just off the towpath. And I think there was a bit of tarpaulin, there was a tent.
Yeah, I like the way he made a whole sort of fence out of twigs. He sort of curved it way around. It was a really nice setup that he had, didn't it?
Yeah. I mean, whoever's put that together has really sort of taken time to make sure that they've actually got everything they need. And to be honest, I'd say they off-gridded it a lot better than we do. I mean, we call ourselves off-gridders, but to be honest, we're just pretenders.
Yeah, definitely. That person was the real deal.
Yes,
real deal.
Absolutely. And then once we went past the off-grid setup, we then went under the M4 motorway.
After you go under the M4, the River Kennet gets very wiggly, and we've done this part of the canal a few times, and it is quite fun to do, isn't it? And
it's fun to watch.
Yeah, and it's something that we know that we're not going to be doing for a while, but we carried on this cruise, and we approached the second lock, and surprisingly we saw a familiar face. It was Ken, who you might have seen on our last vlog, who helped us out with our breakdown and pumped out all our dirty diesel. And there he was, just stopping off for lunch himself. But he's one of those people, as soon as he sees people get to a lock, he'll just get out and start helping people right away. And you'll see here that we were actually pulling Marielle into lock, because Ken is one of those people who likes peace and quiet, and so does his dog Benji. So we turned the engine off, he likes everything done like that, so he just pulled the boat into the lock. and yeah, he helped us out. It was a nice, peaceful, slow process.
Slow process.
Yeah. So yeah, and then Ken helped you, didn't he, with the cranking everything up, and we went down. It's easier going down in locks. We went down and we left it. Everything was fine, and we slowly approached our destination.
We did, and it might actually seem at this point that our journey was quite short. There was a reason for that, and the reason was because we knew we'd be going on to the River Thames, and we didn't actually want to take Muriel out too quickly onto the Thames, especially after the recent breakdowns that she had. So we thought doing a nice short journey would give us a chance just to see and assess if there were any issues with Muriel before we continued on. And luckily, there were none. So we were very happy. We moored up outside the Cunning Man, which is a lovely pub actually, around Burfield Island, I think, isn't it?
It was. We've moored there before, but the first time, yeah, it was locked down and we couldn't go in. And this time, yeah, people, it was very busy outside. It looked lovely.
It's inviting.
It did, yeah, but we had an early morning, didn't we?
We did. We had an early morning start. So we actually couldn't go and enjoy any of the drinks at the pub. We're very sensible boaters like that, actually. So we thought we'd have an early night instead. And
it was very strange to look out of the window for the first time in months and see something different, wasn't it? And knowing that we were going to see different things out of our window every day for the coming months. It was strange and exciting. And there was actually a man who was fixing up an old Dutch barge that will be for sale. That was quite nice. So there we were, at Burfield, and yeah, we finished that cruise for the day, didn't we? We completed it.
We did.
So let's talk about the statistics now. So we did 2 locks and 2 miles in 2 hours, thus making our average speed 1 mile per hour.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's
fast.
Yeah, I know. So that's going to start on our journey all the way. International journey. Are we going to make it to Llangollen? What do you reckon? Comment below. Average speed 1 mile an hour.
So thank you very much for watching today's video and staying with us till the end. And next week you're going to see we're going to go all posh as we finish the K&A and make our way over to Henley on the River Thames in preparation for the Brothers Battle Royale. But now over to you. So what plans have you got this summer for narrowboating? Let us know in the comment section below about what plans you've got. If you've got any holidays booked for that, that'll be great.
Yes, that's right, guys. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. And remember, no matter what you do in life, you've got to keep chugging.